which really wasn't the kicker, because we already know. I go and say that the only reason Trump has a problem with Barack Obama, he blatantly said, because he's black, because he went to Harvard, because he's educated. And those are all the things that Donald Trump despises. I guess a black educated man becoming president just gets up under his skin in a way that just makes him react and lash out. He says that Trump didn't even believe the birther claims. He said he just liked the response. He never thought Obama was not born here, but he liked the response that he was getting from it. So he enjoyed the racist activity that went around his statement. Y'all gonna quit trying to convince me that Trump ain't racist. Say, now, child, this is something here. So sad, our good black skin just be making people get upset. For what? For what? We ain't a set of y'all skin. Live in your skin. It's beautiful. And so is mine. Look at that shimmer, that lighting. Oh yeah. This is not about you right now, but you know when the light hit the melanin,
it doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from, or what you look like, or where you love. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white, or Hispanic, or Asian, or Native American, or young or old, or rich or poor, able, disabled, gay or straight. You can make it here in America if you're willing to try.
I want to really, once you get to the,
I will admit it's worse than even I expected, but I did warn y'all. I did. You can run the tape. In Donald Trump's mind, the military does not exist to serve the Constitution or the American people. Like everything else, he thinks the military exists to do his bidding. And he has said that if he's elected, he'll use the military to go after, quote, the enemy within, which he seems to define as anybody who criticizes him. Trump's other big idea is to slap a tariff on everything from food to TVs. Now, almost every economist who has looked at this idea says that won't lower prices, that makes prices higher. Donald Trump's former chief of staff said that Trump told him he wanted his generals to be like Hitler's generals. Now, in politics, a good rule of thumb is don't say you want to do anything like Hitler. But it gives you a window into how Donald Trump thinks. Donald Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them, between the quote-unquote real Americans who support him and the outsiders who don't. Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than a means to his ends. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut that would mostly help him. Now, if you challenge Trump on his concepts, he will fall back on one answer. This is blanket answer for everything. Blame immigrants. He wants you to believe that if you let him round up whoever he wants, ship them all out, put together these big detention camps, your problems will be solved. Bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse.
Barack Obama really triggers Donald Trump. He triggers him because he's more articulate and a better speaker. He triggers him because he's more athletic and more fit. He triggers Trump because Obama is globally respected, even if you didn't like everything that Obama did.
Iran said to Trump and his administration, we're not going to do any negotiations. We'll only talk to Barack Obama.
And Obama triggers Trump because he reminds people that the stuff Trump is screwing up, Obama had mostly figured out. Obama had solved the Iran nuclear situation, at least for a period of time, and at least without launching missiles, without threatening to nuke Iran, without turning the Middle East into an even bigger disaster because of his ego. Wasn't perfect, but he did those things.
Obama
our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength. But to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage. This is a great time to negotiate. Unfortunately, we have a president that doesn't know the first thing about negotiation. We have a real problem in the White House. So, I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
Barack Obama really triggers Donald Trump.
Overnight, Donald Trump posted dozens of times on Truth Social calling for President Obama's arrest, calling President Obama the most, quote, demonic force in American politics, suggesting that President Obama received $120 million from Obamacare, and more in a lengthy tirade that spanned over 30 posts in a matter of minutes. It's not a surprise to see the president struggle to stay awake during the day when he's up all night, ranting on Truth Social and reposting just absurd claims. None of his claims are actually true, and the reason I even make these videos are because for years, the right attacked President Biden for not being fully fit to serve. Staying up all night and posting radical claims, calling for the arrest of President Obama, saying that President Obama is treasonous, all of these things, I mean, that is, any media personnel should look at that and say, that's not fully fit either. And this is not a just let Trump be Trump moment. Presidents should be held to a higher standard.
I were named Obama, I would have had the Nobel Prize given in 10 seconds. He got the Nobel Prize. He didn't even know what the hell he got it for. Remember, he got elected. Well, so did I. He got elected, and they announced he was getting the Nobel Prize. Remember, he said, "Oh, what did I do?" He didn't know what the hell he did. He got the Nobel Prize for doing nothing, for getting elected. But I got elected too. And, if I think of that, we did something, the Abraham Accords, unprecedented. Nobody thought it was possible. And I'm not saying want or not. I'm just saying if it was anybody else, liberal, Democrat, they would have had it before the damn thing was even signed, So there has to be fairness, and I don't care, but I'm not looking for it. I'm not politicking for it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of unfairness in this world. Did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Take little shots. He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. They always say, sure, please stick to policy, don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people. Do I still have to stick to policy?
And here is President Obama reminding us in an interview just hours ago about what he was able to achieve with the Iran nuclear deal. And he says, Trump got out of the deal because I did it. That's the only real reason.
We pulled it off without firing a missile. We got 97% of their enriched uranium out.
How are you?
We were able to maintain a modest civilian nuclear program for energy. And
so you think it was working?
Well, it's not only did I think it was working, even Israeli intelligence thought it was working. Even our intelligence services thought it was working. So there's no dispute that it worked. And we didn't have to kill a whole bunch of people or shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Now,
well, there was some dispute that it didn't work.
Well,
our present president believed that it didn't work, which is why he pulled out of it.
It's not clear that he didn't believe that it didn't work. He just said it didn't work.
Worst deal of all time.
Yeah, because I did it, which is fine. That seems to be a pattern. But there was no serious independent folks who would say that it didn't work with respect to the nuclear program. Now, if your agenda was to bring about regime change in Iran, well, that wasn't the goal of the agreement. If your goal was to dismantle the Iranian military so that it couldn't cause any other problems in the region, then it didn't do that, but that wasn't the goal.
Obama really gets to the heart of how Trump does this stuff, which is Obama's name was on the deal. That's really all that I need to know. And that is so important right now because Obama is talking about the Iran nuclear deal, which Trump doesn't want anyone to remember was basically working. Iran agreed to massively reduce its enriched uranium stockpile, dismantle centrifuges, accept international inspections, and all the information we have is that up until the point that Donald Trump said, I'm getting out of this, Iran was doing it. Doesn't make the theocratic regime of Iran something that I look up to or respect. Doesn't make Iran a country whose foreign policy ambitions I am aligned with. But according to international inspectors and our own intelligence services, Iran was complying with the agreement. It was working as intended. It wasn't intended to do regime change. It wasn't necessarily perfect. Every single agreement like this has some trade-offs, of course, otherwise both parties wouldn't agree to engage in it. But it was containing the nuclear program. And then Trump comes in and destroys it. Not because Iran violated the deal or because inspectors found nuclear weapons programs that were hidden or anything like that. He pulled out because Obama did it. And Trump has been emotionally incapable of admitting Obama did something that's good enough. He can't do it. He won't do it. And the Iran deal was especially triggering to Donald Trump because it represented the kind of leadership Trump wishes he could engage in, that he could participate in. And it requires diplomacy and some patience, and it involves allies and respecting other people and acknowledging that you may not be the most knowledgeable person in the room. Trump can't do any of that stuff. He wants TV moments, dramatic threats. I'm out of the deal. Now we're going to unleash hell upon them. And so Trump pulls the U.S. out of that deal in 2018, says we're going to get a better deal. Instead, what we get is, in going now to the second term, bombing Iran in June of 2025. And then now going into a war. And what is Trump trying to get now? The best Trump can hope to do is to get back into the nuclear deal that looks almost exactly like what Barack Obama was involved in. And in fact, if you read about the negotiations that have been taking place, it seems that the best case scenario realistically is that whatever is put back in place isn't even as strong as what Barack Obama had in place. Trump destroyed the deal, made the region more dangerous, and now he is saying we're trying to get a deal where they make agreements on nuclear and agreements on Strait of Hormuz. And we had that. We had that deal. And you said it wasn't good enough. And now you're going to put in place a deal that isn't even as strong. So Barack Obama's correct. He is getting to the core of this. It's that it had Obama's name on it that Trump didn't like. Obama did it, so Trump hated it. And that's really all that this is about. And I don't think I have to tell you that this is indicative of an individual so constitutionally, I mean, not like the capital C Constitution, as an individual, the makeup of Trump is so poorly suited to the office of the presidency that it's hard to think of a worse person. Maybe JD, right? We don't know what he would be like as president, but Trump is pretty high up on the list of the last people in the world you would want to be president of the United States.
What's happening? Welcome to this space. This is the Likurupu. Now, DJT FUMES is exploding after realizing that Barack Obama is getting more attention than him. Now, he is like, stop giving this guy more attention. I am more than him. I can do better than him. You know, nowadays, we don't want somebody to speak. I mean, nowadays, we don't want words. You don't want somebody come on the TV, speak about things and then they leave. Nowadays, we want actions. When Obama said that he will do this for people, he does it for people. But DJT, he does things for himself. He does things to enrich himself. I have clips here. All right, I have clips here. Watch them. I'll come back talking about the video. Welcome back. Barack Obama and DJT have their own war. And honestly speaking, nobody hasn't come across them fighting, them quarreling, them, not getting to get along with each other, because Barack Obama has a way of handling the crowd. But DJT will come here, insult you, call you names. Now tell me, who will you choose between Obama and DJT? Because Barack Obama speaks to people calmly, all right, compared to Trump. Trump will call you names and he don't care what you will do. There's a way a leader can speak to somebody and someone will surely understand them. There's a way of a leader speaking to someone. There's a way of a leader addressing people. There's a way of a leader addressing media, you know. But the way Barack Obama addressed the media, you can't compare him with the JT. Why? JT feels powerful. JT feels like everybody must know that he's the leader. JT want to show the world that he is who he is. But Barack Obama wants to move along with the people. Want to know what is somebody going through, what somebody lacking. So we can't compare humanity with the greedy, right? We can't compare Barack Obama because Obama has humanity. And I guess because he's black, he has Ubuntu in him. But Trump is greedy of power, greedy of, all properties. Like he wants everything for himself. So how will we be able to control this? And MAGA knows this one thing, that they miss Obama, okay? MAGA are missing Obama. Not only MAGA, but entire America is missing Obama. They want Obama in power. They want Obama in the office because Obama could stop his speech and address somebody who is hurting somewhere. If you compare Obama with the JT could pass along somebody. It's like comparing Ronaldo with Messi. You can't compare them because everybody has their own flaws. But there's somebody who does the best than anybody. There's somebody who has this so-called thing called humanity in them. So you can't come out here and start to compare them. You can't compare Barack Obama and the JT. So when I see the JT coming and be like I can do better than Obama, what are you doing as a president in America? Obama could seal a deal with Iran and nothing happened. But you can't just see the fire between you and Iran because you want to be seen as powerful as you think. Trump feels like he can defeat everybody. Like Trump is above the law and he can defeat anyone. But no, not every time, not everything needs an action. Not everything needs a fight. Sometimes sit back, just watch things, how they go. Sit there, watch things slowly. So MAGA supporters are now even angry that they're turning on Trump because they feel like Trump is now doing the way he was saying that he will do. Right? Trump is taking them through a lot, and they ain't taking that easily. Tell in the comments. Can you compare Barack Obama with the DJT? Can you compare what Obama has done to America with the DJT? Can you compare Obama's regime with the DJT regime? Can you? Peace out. And I love you.